Do you get what I mean? And it's nothing I shy away from. If you get to know me, I'm proud. That's what I'll talk about.
Yeah.
So in here, it isn't a matter for you to have come in here and be preaching, because it just would not be appropriate.
Yeah, I know.
It wouldn't be the.
I would have been out within a week.
People
I understand that.
They wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. But see, love never fails.
Yeah, of course it
love
does.
Love never
exactly.
ever fails. And the thing is, that is the manifestation of God.
Yeah,
God is love. So when
yeah.
you manifest in that measure of love,
yeah.
you're manifesting God, who He is, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't told you about how I got here. It's an amazing journey. Like,
no, I was listening when you said that you used to do a lot of...
Oh, no, let me tell you just briefly what happened. In November, we had this guy come from New Zealand to do some meetings, and I set up 2 weeks of meetings for him. And I was going to pick him up from his hotel. I'm in the car on my own going to pick him up. And suddenly a firework went off above the car. And the Lord spoke to me and He said, "You're going to have a champagne summer." And I didn't know what it was. I just like, well, that's wild. So I went home and I said to my wife, I said, "Oh, the Lord's told me today that we're going to have a champagne summer and that we're going to have a great summer." And then in January, the Sun newspaper came to one of our events and did like a double-page spread, really amazing article, Holy Ravers Who Get High on God. It was a really positive thing. Off the back of that conference, I then went to Italy the day after and spent like 3 or 4 days in Italy with some of the guys that like had come over from America for the conference, friends of mine. And we're in this bar in like a restaurant in Italy, in Rome, and this girl just starts prophesying over me, and she says, "God's about to open something up for you." She said, "I don't know what I'm seeing, but it's in the media." She said, "It's not like God TV, and it's not like something you do on YouTube. It's different, and I don't think it's been done before. Someone like you." I thought, well, that's weird. So the following day, I rung home, and my wife said to me, "You've had an email off Big Brother, and they're going to call
company or anything, or you're in charge of anything. You've got to, the first thing you've got to be able to know is your own limits, and you've got to know who's suitable for what. Good at things like that."
Does your dad run his own business? Good at giving out the orders, that's what you mean,
No,
Benji.
my father's retired, but he ran an organisation for a while.
Email. So I'm on the plane, I sit down, I'm on the front row, and the hostesses are there in front of me, and the one turned around to the other one and said, "Did you watch Celebrity Big Brother last night?" And the other one goes, "No," and they said, "Oh, that Stephen Baldwin's on there, that Bible basher." And when I heard that, I knew that God was doing something, that something was happening. So I get home, and Dawn Panton rung me up and said, like, "Are you the guy, Dave Vaughan, whatever? Shall I've seen some of your stuff on YouTube? Shall I've spent 2 days watching your stuff on YouTube? I saw the newspaper article in the Sun newspaper. Is this stuff real? Do you get intoxicated on God? Do you manifest this love, whatever?" And I said, "Yeah." And I spent 40 minutes on the phone talking to her. I knew at that moment, before I'd met anyone, before I'd gone on anything, that God was opening up the door. And I said to all my friends at that point, I said, "I'm going to be on Big Brother. This is what's going to happen." I told them exactly what's going to happen. I also had a dream around that time where in the dream, I saw this guy who was like a businessman, a Christian businessman, and he was doing like a secular interview. And as he's doing this secular interview, stocks and shares and all this stuff, all of a sudden he gets covered in like supernatural gold dust, and it was just like so visible on him. And he looks at the camera and he says, "This is a sign to all you out there that God is real, that He's the God of the supernatural, and that He loves you with an everlasting love." So like when I woke up, I heard the Lord speak to me, and He said, "I'm about to open up a door into the media realm." And He said, "My supernatural, my glory is about to be seen in the media realm." So all this stuff was all going on around the same time. So then they wanted me to go to Cardiff the day before the audition started to do, what the audition people would do when they get through. And I just stayed in bed, didn't even bother going. And then the following day, car full of guys to London the day before the auditions. Check this out, right? I get outside Wembley Arena, we park the car up, get outside Wembley Arena, and there's a massive Bentley, and the number plate on the Bentley was David. That was the number plate on the Bentley. I go in there, do the day, didn't hear anything from them for like maybe a month or so, and people were saying, "Oh, did you go up for the Big Brother thing? Do you think you're going to be on there?" And I said, "Yeah, of course I am." I just knew that God was opening up a door. So even when I was having these big gaps where I wasn't hearing from him, I knew something was going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
When I applied, I prayed about it strongly, and my parents, well, my mum did more so.
Yeah.
And when I didn't get in, like I came down for the launch and stuff, and I didn't get in because you look at different things, and I just thought to myself, as much as I really wanted it, I said to God, if it's going to be in a situation where I come in here and I'm going to be misunderstood and I'm going to be seen in a light that's going to be not good for me, not good for my belief, not family, then I just said as much, even though I felt I was going against God, like, 'cause I just wanted it no matter what. And then I just kept on praying, and I said, oh, Mum. So she was in hospital when I came for done launch, and like I weren't sure whether to come in or not. I was like, oh, I don't know. And like I said to her husband, and I spoke to her, and I was like, oh. And they're like, no, she's going to be.
Corin?
Ben, you're lazy in a different way, mate.
Yeah, I am lazy in a different way. I never want to
That's a good answer, that is, Cos.
No, I am lazy in a different way. Do you think it's okay to put this shirt through the mangle?
I see, I've not used it yet.
Yeah, it'd be alright.
Will it screw it up?
No. Just fold it so the buttons are on the inside so they don't get caught. And then run it through. I'll dry in no time anyway, it's cotton, isn't it? And it's breeze.
It looks like you're making pasta, doesn't it?
It's going to happen, and it was weird because when I done launch, I still had my job. And I still had my job, and I felt bad with work because I wouldn't have been able to have completed that. Do you get what I mean? To do my job, what I was doing anymore, and I had some health problems, so that was left to get sorted out. So in the end, I wasn't working, and I could. So this time round, there was no kind of like. Nothing for me to worry about on the outside, because and it was just so weird because the Wednesday they ring me up and they said, look, if we can make it possible, and would you be willing to do it? And I thought about it, and I just thought about the thing of like, you know, am I going to go up there and feel like I'm being humiliated, in the sense like just stood there like a desperado, do you know what I mean? And then I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to let that fear, because that's fear, isn't it? And you know, in the Bible it says God isn't giving you a spirit of fear, and I just thought, I'm not going to be fearful. Okay, so I turn up there, if I don't get in and I'm just stood there, I'm not going to die, am I? So then I said to them, yeah, cool, and they said, oh, we're not sure how it's going to happen. You know, it could be that it's going to be the same as it was launch night. And I thought, well, when it was launch night there was 81 of us, and I was kind of like hiding at the side. But then that time when I came in there was 6 of us. And
Thrust out there.
you just stood there. And I, as God is my witness, I honestly did not think I was going to get in. Honestly, just did not. I had the 3 people. I had the 3 people lined up, and only Jay out of the 3 that I thought was going to get in got in. So, and then when they when they said, oh yeah, number one, I just thought, oh my gosh.